Hi, my name's Joel, and thank you for viewing my Cup of Culture blog. For my blog, I didn't choose anything on the menu. I decided to choose my own Cup of Culture, and I decided to tour the Pawnee Museum Historical State Site, located in Republic County, Kansas, just west of the town of Republic. I've been driving by this museum for several years now, being in this area, and I've always meant to stop, and I just never have. So when I had to come up with my Cup of Culture topic, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to go and visit this museum, because I've always had a fascination of Native Americans and their way of life and how they engineered things, their tools, their artifacts. Everything about them I've found to be very interesting. So I guess that would probably stemmed from when I was younger. I went along on a lot of arrowhead hunts with my grandpa and whatnot, so finding arrowheads and Indian beads always kind of, I guess I would say, sparked an interest in the Native American way of life. So moving on, I liked everything about this assignment actually. Like I said, very fond of the Native Americans, so I was pretty anxious to start my tour. Once I arrived on the grounds, I kind of just toured the area outside of the museum to begin with. There were several monuments that you could view and read, and trail markers and different sites where certain activities happened on this grounds. And they also offered a nature trail, so I took a walk along that, and it kind of led us down through the hills, and there were actually depressions of the earth lodges where the Pawnee once had their lodges, so that was kind of cool to be on the same grounds where these Indians once lived. So I found that to be very interesting. Once I got done with my trail hike, I made my way back up to the actual museum building and took my tour there. Once you come through the door, I found it very interesting. You step down onto an earth lodge floor. They actually built this museum over the top of an actual earth lodge, and everything in there on the floor is preserved just the way they found that area. So I found that to be a real treat. Another interesting part of the tour were the exhibits, of course, and one I found really interesting again was a cutaway scale model of these earth lodges, and just seeing the engineering, I guess you would say, put into these buildings and the way these Indians designed these buildings just fascinated me, with the stud walls and how they packed mud and grass and chimney system and everything, and they're just kind of fascinated me. So I thought that was really cool. Another part of the exhibit that caught my attention, I found really interesting, was a star chart. It was a 300-year-old star chart, a star map, I guess you would say, that was printed on a buckskin. So that was really cool. Just another example of how resourceful the Indians were. After visiting the site, I learned a lot more about the Pawnee that I didn't actually know before, and I learned why they settled where they did, and I learned why they left the area, and that was because wood became scarce as well as the land losing its value. The production of the land went down. They had no way to fertilize, so they moved on to a new area with productive soils. So that's the reason they left the area, and no wood for fuel. So I always find it kind of interesting to learn more about a part of history that's close to where I live, close to home. I would highly recommend this museum to anybody who's interested in the Native Americans like myself. And in case you are interested, I just might mention that there is an admission to get into the museum, as you might expect, and it's $5 for adults and $1 for students, which isn't bad at all for the experience I had. I thought that was really reasonable. So yes, thank you for viewing my blog, and I hope you learned a little more about the Pawnee Indian Museum, and if you're ever in the area of Republic, feel free to stop in. It's a great time and well worth your time.